losing might be in the best interest of the Arizona Cardinals right now, and why I don't understand why everyone's not giving the Suns a chance today against OKC. They've earned it. Let's talk about that and much more in this edition of the Ben Garcia Show.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need them. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like callus. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, and welcome into yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. This special Friday edition of the Ben Garcia Show post Thanksgiving. Before we hit that like, share, subscribe button, follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Appreciate you guys being here on this fantastic Friday. I am obviously a little late to the party. Why is that? I'll be honest with you. I set an alarm for 7:45. Show was obviously ready to go. Wife wakes me up to my alarm going off. And she says, "Hey, turn that off. Go do your thing." And I said, "Yep, I'm up, ready to go." Immediately fell back asleep. Until about 8:25, 8:20, and here I am. So remember when you guys said, "Well, Ben's just late today?" No. I will be honest with you with what happened. Late night last night. Thanksgiving was great, but I apologize. We are always here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the show. But because I am a one-man band, I am the cameraman, the host, the social media manager, the CEO, the CFO, the tech guy, the audio guy. Because I am all those things, sometimes I don't have someone there to be like, "Hey, man, where the heck are you?" It happens. With that being said, guys, let's dive right into it. Shorter show today, but I wanted to get into the Cardinals coming up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. Bakeer Mayfield might play. I was the guy who on Locked On Cardinals Squad show the other day said that I thought Bakeer Mayfield might play in this game. And the reasoning why for that is because I think Bakeer Mayfield is a football psychopath, and in all the good ways, meaning I think Bakeer Mayfield is someone who will die on the football field. This is why players love to play for him. It's the anti-Kyler Murray. Again, not a Kyler Murray shot. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to talk about Kyler, but Bakeer Mayfield will die on the football field. When he throws an interception, he's trying to make a big tackle. He is always in prove it mode. He is always in, everyone doubts me, I'm going to show them why I need to be the guy on the field always. And especially if it's not his actual, especially since it's not his actual throwing shoulder, I always thought he'd play in this game. Any other quarterback, I would question it. But because of where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are right now, because they are in such a thick of it race with the Carolina Panthers, I don't think he misses this game. Now, I'm willing to be wrong on that, and I wouldn't be super surprised because obviously he's got a real deal shoulder injury. But I see this guy playing. I see him lying to the doctors about how much pain he's actually in. I see him shooting it up with the cortisone shot, and I see him playing, especially against the Cardinals defense, which is missing some of their top guys. Josh Sweat might not play in this game. Walter Nolan might not play in this game. It's so crazy how 50-year-old Calais Campbell just doesn't miss games, but Walter Nolan in his rookie season is missing games. The NFL is wild. But with that being the case, guys, I personally just think he's going to play in this game. And I actually think, and again, guys, this is not me trying to have a hot take. This is not me trying to be a contrarian. let's lay down the groundwork first before I tell you my take, because it's going to sound like Ben's trying to be different, and that's not what I'm trying to do. If you tell me that you think Teddy Bridgewater is the quarterback you want to start against the Cardinals this weekend, I won't fight with you. I don't think it's a bad take at all. I'm just saying, dig a little deeper into it is all. Dig a little deeper. Baker Mayfield is a bit of a gunslinger. He will throw this ball downfield at will. Meaning he don't care about the consequences. And I think if you get a Baker Mayfield that doesn't really know how injured he is, or maybe he does, and it's going to affect the way he plays. But I think a 75% Baker Mayfield, an 80% Baker Mayfield starting is actually to the benefit of the Arizona Cardinals. Well, what do you mean by that, Ben? What do you mean by that? Baker Mayfield is a gunslinger. He will throw the ball downfield. His specialty is not taking the check down. He is a very, very effective quarterback. And with all the injuries that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have, combined with a Cardinals defense that is coming off of a 3-interception game and a 4-turnover game against Trevor Lawrence, they can force turnovers. And I think Baker potentially trying to fit the ball into a window this big that he normally would be able to do, but because of his injury, failed to do so and throw the ball to the opposing team. And I think that's to the benefit of the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals win this game if they win the turnover battle. And I had Alex Clancy of Locked On Cardinals tell me, well, the Cardinals just had 4 turnovers and lost. Yes, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. However, that's the statistical anomaly. That's the first time that's ever happened that a team turns a team over 4 times, has 0 turnovers, and loses. I'm going to go with that doesn't happen again. I don't want to lean into, well, woe is us, we're terrible, we're Arizona sports. I'm going to lean into the statistical data that tells me that's probably not going to happen. I think quarterbacks who are more injured than they say they are but want to play, like I believe Baker Mayfield will do, will give a turnover or 2 to the Arizona Cardinals. And Jacoby Brissett has one of the lowest turnover percentages in terms of interceptions. He's in like the top 10. He doesn't throw interceptions. Even in long durations of seasons, he does not throw interceptions. And so I think that actually is a benefit to the Cardinals. If Baker Mayfield plays, I think he throws a couple of ducks to the Cardinals. Not because he's bad, not because he's not an elite level quarterback, not because when he's upright, he's doing everything right. I think players love to play for Baker. I would do anything to get Baker Mayfield on this team. But I think he oftentimes will do too much. And he'll throw an interception because he doesn't know how injured he is. And my point to back this up is, look at Lamar Jackson over the last 3 weeks. Lamar Jackson is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL who can't beat Patrick Mahomes. Boo-hoo. No one can. However, ever since he came back from that hamstring injury, they are not running the ball enough with him. I think they've had like 5 designed runs in 3 weeks. And he's missing open guys. They're not scoring as many points. He's clearly more injured than the Ravens or himself is willing to say. And so it doesn't matter if you're this elite level quarterback. An injury is an injury. And I think if Baker plays 80%, it is to the benefit of the Arizona Cardinals. And the other reason to that is Teddy Bridgewater is not a bad quarterback. I mean, he might be now. But his duration of his career, he's always been like Jacoby Brissett, one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL. And when he was a starter, he got to the playoffs with the Minnesota Vikings. Throughout the full season, he was a starter. And I've never thought of Teddy Two Gloves as the quarterback that will throw the ball deep downfield, take a chance, put the ball in harm's way. Similar to Jacoby Brissett, he's going to take the check down. He's going to keep the ball safe. He's not going to throw interceptions. I think that means that if he plays, the Buccaneers score 24 points, 21 points. Like, I don't think they score a ton of points. But I think it would be enough to beat the Cardinals. Because we don't trust the Cardinals offense. We don't trust their OC. And as much as I like Jacoby Brissett as a backup quarterback, he's not a starter. And so I think that's kind of what you're looking at here. You're looking at a Bucs team with one quarterback that kind of amplifies what the Arizona Cardinals do well defensively, and a quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater who is very safe, not going to turn over the football. And of course, Bucky Irving comes back this week. And if Bucky Irving comes back this week, well, it sounds like he is, and you get a heavy run dose of him with no Walter Nolan in, maybe no Josh Sweat, they're going to lean on Bucky. I think if Baker plays, they're not going to go any higher of a dosage on Bucky. And so it's interesting, man. It's really interesting to me. But I think if you're talking about keys to this game, I think you're talking about the Arizona Cardinals having a better shot against Baker Mayfield because of his injury. If this was Baker at 100% and someone said this, that would be the worst take ever. But I think a shoulder injury is a real deal, a legitimate thing. And so it should concern you a little bit if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for our Cardinals ball-hawking defense, I don't think it's crazy. Here's the other thing. Should you even want to win this game? If you're a Cardinals fan, do you have any interest in actually winning this game? Let me dispel one, not rumor, but I want to dispel something that fans often think of, and it's what makes fans fans. You know, sometimes it's a bit irrational, sometimes it's a bit of hopium, and it's not a bad thing. Fans are the greatest thing about sports. No team is ever trying to tank. None. Zero. Ever. None. Because, one, if you find out that you're trying to tank, a la Miami Dolphins years ago, you'll get a first-round pick, second-round pick taken away from you. The repercussions are punitive. You can only imagine what the repercussions would have been had they have done that for the full season, and, you know, if it hadn't been just a couple of games. If you're a Cardinals fan, I think you should be rooting for this team to lose. Not because you hate the team, obviously. Not because, you know, you want them to get a taste of their own medicine. Nothing like that. But the Arizona Cardinals are close. I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. They've got the players. They've got the weapons. They've got the bandwidth to go pound for pound with any team in the NFL. They just need the quarterback. And the more and more I look into it, the more and more I kind of fall in love with Fernando Mendoza. He is the anti-measurements Kyler Murray. 6'4", 6'5", big arm, accurate, and has led an Indiana Hoosiers team who has otherwise been irrelevant for the entirety of my lifetime to a college football playoff favorite. I don't think it helps anything if you win a couple of games, win one game, win two games. You fall back in the standings. You fall back in the upside down standings of the NFL draft. I don't think that's the best place to go. Well, what about wins? What about culture? Who cares? Who cares? Everything has been thrown out the window. At the beginning of the season, I said to everyone, when people had told me Monty Ossenfort and Jonathan Gannon should get a one-way ticket for their jobs next year no matter what happens. And I said, that's fine, but what if DEFCON 1 happens? What if Kyler gets injured? What if the Cardinals have a disastrous season? What if they have the season from hell? And everyone told me, oh, that's not going to happen. That's crazy talk. You're reading too much into it. And I was right. Not that I predicted this to happen, but I predicted it absolutely could happen. because I've been watching this team for a very long time. The best outcome for the Arizona Cardinals right now is not win as many games as you can, save the culture, try to fix the locker room a little bit. The best outcome for the Arizona Cardinals is to lose out. Because I'm not really all the way bought in on Jonathan Gannon. I will contest with, I think that he's a rock solid head coach, that I think he probably deserves another year given the candidates that are out there and the injuries that they've had. And so I don't need another win to tell me that. I just need to see that the team plays hard every week. The best outcome for the Arizona Cardinals is not winning a couple of games and establishing a culture, fixing the culture. They've got 3 wins on the season. They are out of the playoffs by the day after Thanksgiving, likely. They are not going to play any meaningful games in December. Not one. What culture are you trying to save? This is a full-on, if you're a fan, root for this team to lose every single game. Not because you dislike them, not because you want to teach them a lesson, but because you want Fernando Mendoza on this team. You want to see what the Cardinals can do with a 6'4", 6'5", big arm quarterback that is leading a team that has been irrelevant my entirety of my lifetime to a college football playoff, not just contender, but maybe outright favorite alongside Ohio State. I'm not interested in saving a culture. I'm not interested in, well, if they win a couple of games, they could get hot and carry that into next season. I don't buy into that. In fact, I think the worst thing that can happen is the Cardinals win out. Miss the playoffs, 500 team, Drew Petzing keeps his job, Jonathan Gannon isn't under the hot seat anymore. That's the worst thing that can happen. The best thing that can happen is you lose out, try to get a top 3 pick. And then from there, you probably still have to trade up for Fernando Mendoza, but it won't cost you as much. You definitely want to out-tank the Falcons, who have the Rams pick right now. Imagine if they get their quarterback of the future over you. I'll continue to contest. This team is close. They just need their franchise guy. And winning 1 or 2 meaningless games doesn't do anything for that. Well, what about the culture? I don't care. Find the quarterback first. What about the team morale? I don't care. Find the quarterback first. I think it makes more sense for you to be rooting for it. Teams do not tank. Teams are not going to try to tank. So it's irrelevant to say, well, this is what the Cardinals are doing. But what you should be rooting for is that. Cardinals are 1 franchise quarterback away from being serious playoff contenders. I will go to the grave saying that. This roster is really good. They just need to find their guy. And they might still win a couple of games and try to trade up and go get their guy. But it'll cost a lot less assets if you do it from pick 4, from pick 3. And it'll be much easier to outbid teams like the Rams, who could try to outbid you, but have the 7th overall pick. It sucks that this is where we're at, but it's the right thing to do. Don't try to tell me or sell me something on team morale or culture because you keep losing. This team isn't going to play meaningful games in December. Before the season started, we thought that they were all going to be a playoff team. They've got 3 freaking wins. The worst thing that can happen is they win out and JG and Drew Petzing keep their jobs. That's what I think we're at, guys. And it sucks, man. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we're here. And next year, don't expect me to say, this team's got high playoff aspirations. If they find their quarterback, I'll run it back. But don't expect me to come out here and say they've got high playoff aspirations. Because they have not earned that. And it's embarrassing, man. Bidwell should be embarrassed. JG, Monty, everyone. Everyone. I just can't believe we're here again. In this way, in this fashion. This season is more disappointing than the 2016 season following an NFC Championship game. Wild. Moving on. A little bit of a lighter crowd today, probably because I didn't show up on time. So I apologize for that, and it's much deserved. But for you in here right now, appreciate you guys. Remember, at the end of the show, I will take your guys' questions too. A team that's not underperforming, a team that is actually following through with all the Phoenix Suns. There it is. Sorry guys, that was the wrong date down there. A team that, so let me start over. A team that is not falling short of expectations, a team that is exceeding expectations and deserves the right to prove you wrong. The Phoenix Suns. So the Suns play the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to see a lot of it. I've been working a ton recently. I work all the time. My wife and I are going to go have a date night. But I will be at the game tomorrow. This will be the first game I miss all year. And let me tell you why I think that that's okay. I don't think the Suns win tonight. They are a double-digit point favorite. They don't have Grayson Allen. They don't have Ryan Dunn. They don't have Jalen Green. With that being said, I am not surprised. I will not be surprised if the Suns win tonight. I won't be. This team has earned the right to prove me wrong. What do I mean by that? J-Dub's coming back tonight for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Jalen Williams, which tells me the Oklahoma City Thunder are already scared of the Phoenix Suns. That's a joke. But this team continues to outshine your expectations. They continue to outshine your expectations. I put on Locked On Suns the other day. I usually leave a pinned comment after the show. It's time to stop being surprised by the Phoenix Suns. It's time to stop saying things like, wow, they're just really impressive. They're just scrappy. No, they're just a good team. And good teams beat other really good teams all the time. And so the Suns tonight playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't think it's impossible that they get a win. This next two games will tell us a lot about the Phoenix Suns. By the way, they're in the NBA Cup right now. The Suns are not eliminated from the NBA Cup. If the Suns lose close or outright beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are in the next round of the NBA Cup, the knockout round, if you will. None of us thought that they were going to get through that. None of us. A division, a pool play with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. No one thought they were going to get through that. But they did. And they keep doing that. How many times do we say, San Antonio Spurs, by the way, I picked them to beat the San Antonio Spurs the first time for good reasons. We said before the San Antonio Spurs came into town, well, they're probably not going to beat them. They did. They beat the Clippers twice in a row when the Clippers still had hopes and aspirations. They just keep beating teams. No, I'm not going to be the fanboy that's going to pick them to win tonight. But don't be surprised if they do. And if they do, here's the insane scenario. What if the Suns go 2-0 through their next two games? Oklahoma City Thunder, Denver Nuggets. Do you just move them into the tier 2 of the Western Conference? What if they go 1-1? You know a team that couldn't beat the Nuggets the other night? The Houston Rockets. A team that couldn't beat the A team that couldn't beat the Denver Nuggets the other night? The Minnesota Timberwolves. And so I think the Suns have a puncher's shot tonight to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's on the road. It's going to be a tough atmosphere to play in. It's for the pool A crown, Group A crown in the NBA Cup. I don't think they win. But the line is 12.5. This Suns team does not get blown out. Well, what about the Rockets game the other day? Oh, you mean the game where they didn't have Mark Williams, Ryan Dunn, Grayson Allen, Jalen Green? You mean that game? 4 of their top 6 players. And the game was close going into the fourth quarter? Yes. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give the Suns a pass here. They've also got no Mark Williams likely tomorrow against the Denver Nuggets in a game I'll be at, because Mark Williams has got that right knee injury management. But if they beat Oklahoma City tonight, don't be surprised. They're a scrappy team that has earned the right to change your mind. And they just might do it. They just might do it. And so I just wanted to get that out there. By the way, the scenarios in which the Suns win the NBA Cup tonight is win Group A of the NBA Cup tonight is they outright beat Oklahoma City. The second scenario that they move on is they lose close to Oklahoma City and have a higher point differential than I believe it's the Memphis Grizzlies and another team. Regardless, whatever. So the Suns are in the driver's seat. They've just got to play a full 48 minutes tonight against Oklahoma City Thunder. With that being said, guys, a little bit shorter of a show today. Happy Thanksgiving. I will be here Monday at 8 a.m. following the Cardinals Buccaneers game, where maybe we're talking about a Cardinals W, but if we're being honest, probably need to talk about a Cardinals loss. But it doesn't matter as long as they play hard, right, guys? Or how the hell did we get here? Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show, and I'll see you guys on Monday at 8 a.m.